everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got something a little different for you. It's a little bit of a festive treat for you as I guide you through how I created this Christmas card. So let's get right into it. So first I took a 8x8 watercolor paper. This is what I had on hand. It's going to make it sort of a tall, skinny card. I folded it in half and I put some yellow frog tape down. I use the yellow frog tape because it's a little bit more for delicate surfaces. So just to avoid any potential watercolor mishaps. And once you remove the tape, it gives it those crisp, clean edges. So using the tape, I created a triangle shape for the Christmas tree. And then I took some Peebo drawing gum or masking fluid, whatever you want to call it. And I used a dotting tool and I started dotting away. And I created various size dots to represent lights and ornaments. I'll link all the tools and the products in the description. But before we start in with the watercolor, you want to make sure that the masking fluid is dry, bone dry. Like apply it and then I know it's so, don't try to heat gun it or anything like that. Just walk away from it. I promise you, it's worth it to just do that. The heat gun, I guess you could hit it with a hair dryer, but it doesn't take long to dry. I would just let it dry naturally. So then I started with adding watercolor. So I started with Hooker's Green and I applied a light coat of that. And then I started to gradually intensify the color by dropping more pigment. I played with those pretty much three colors. I used Hooker's Green, Sap Green, and a touch of Azo Green Yellow just to add a little something, give it a little bit more dimension. And when I kind of got all that down, I introduced Arabic Gold from my gold and silver palette. The metallic effect is just so beautiful once it dries. And I'll show you at the end by tilting the card into the light, you can see the metallic gold. Once it's completely dry, you have to wait for your watercolor painting to dry. To remove the masking fluid, you just use a rubber cement pickup. You can use your finger. It's a handy tool to have. You can get one at a local craft store or a Dollar Tree or an art supply store. I'll link one into the description in case you're unable to find one. It's just that little square rubber thingy. Then I started to drop some vibrant red pigment. So I was using permanent red, I believe. There's two reds in my palette. I might have been alternating between both, but I believe I was using the deeper permanent red color to create the little Christmas ornaments. And I left some of the little dotted areas white so that it would look like little festive twinkling lights. And don't worry if you make a little mistake. I dropped a little bit too much water there, so I'm going to leave this in the video so that you can see. What I did was I just dried off my brush and I went in a few times and picked up the excess water and then just dry it off a little bit, and you can go back in and drop some more red pigment in there. If you dry, I would take a napkin and just dot the area lightly, and it'll make it dry enough so that it doesn't bleed all over the place, bleed into the green. And like I said, I left some areas white because I wanted them to resemble Christmas lights. So I just left them untouched. So once that was dried, I removed the frog tape by gently peeling it back. Goes nice and slow. You don't want it to rip the watercolor paper. And I did use a little bit of heat to speed up the process. Not much. I just hit it just to dry it to the touch. And then I added a simple brown tree trunk. And then I went in just with a sprinkle of red and green watercolor using a liner brush for the speckled look that I got. So I just dipped it in some of the watercolor pigment. I dipped it really quickly back in the water, and I tapped it a little bit just to make sure there wasn't an excess amount of water. And then I went back in and just flicked it on the card, and it came out quite nice. There you have it. It was a cute little charming card. It was easy to create watercolor. It didn't take much time or many materials. And whoever receives the card is sure to love it. There you have it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and share it with your friends. And drop a comment if you enjoyed the video. It really helps the channel grow, and it gets me in front of more people like you that may enjoy it. I also have a Facebook group you can join. It's a safe space for sharing artwork, asking for input, and just connecting with fellow artists. You can check the description for the details, and thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Happy creating.